What's up, fight fans? Sorry about the interruption. This is part two of the fight study between Jorge Linares and Vasil Lomachenko. Um, like I was saying, the thing that Orlando Salido was able to do was build a blueprint on how to beat Lomachenko. And the way he decisioned, let's say that, Lomachenko, was he threw punches. Who threw volumes of punches? Now, a lot of those punches were low. We can all agree to that if you've seen that fight. But he had Lomachenko. He was so busy. A lot of those times, Lomachenko really could not uh, really think about his strategy. You know what I mean? He turned Lomachenko into somewhat of a pure boxer at this point. You know, I mean, yeah, the low blows were bothering Lomachenko to the point where he didn't really know, okay, is he going down to the body or is he going down to my balls? You know what I mean? And but that was a strategy from a veteran from Orlando Salido. And let's face it, guys, before you shit on Orlando Salido, I mean, it was a dirty move, but he's not the only person that done that. You can ask Bernard Hopkins, you can ask Miguel Cotto, Felix Trinidad, all these guys which are veterans in the sport did the same things in elite fights, okay? But he was able to pull off a decision against Lomachenko. So I'm not saying Linares should do that, but what Orlando Salido did do that was uh, regulation and not a foul was throw punches, and he throwed a lot of punches, and he caught Lomachenko a lot upstairs more than normal, and then this was really new. I think this was Lomachenko's second fight, because his vast experience in the amateur's career, he demanded for a title, his second fight, by his second fight. So Linares does have the punch variety and the speed and the work rate, like I said, tenacity to keep up with Lomachenko. He just can't let Lomachenko fool him and bait him into his game. You know what I mean? Because if he gets you acquainted with you and he hits that matrix button, okay, that's all she wrote. And it'll be really difficult for you to catch up because he's already 2 or 3 sentences above you and you're trying to catch up with what he's reading. And what he's reading is a victory in the ring. You know what I mean? And that's what Lomachenko does. And another thing is not that Lomachenko does not have punching power. It's that you get hurt with punches you don't see. Like Rocky Martinez got hit with an uppercut. And it's not because the punch was just devastating, because Lomachenko's not a devastating power puncher. The thing was, he never saw the punch. He threw a right hook, and he made him think that he was going to go behind his head, but then he switched it up and countered with a left. Rocky Martinez never saw that. And that's when Lomachenko was coming from 126. Now he's at 135. So what the question is now, how much can Lomachenko get away with? I think, fighting bigger guys, you know what I mean? Because a lot of those times, his punching power is only going to be so much. You can hit a guy coming from a different weight class, but he's already 9 pounds north of where he started from. So, these are much bigger guys. Again, advantage Linares. Linares is the bigger guy. He has decent punching power. You know what I mean? Does how can Lomachenko respond to punches like that? Anyone has a puncher's chance, I guess, but Lomachenko doesn't seem to have a weak chin. He has got a few caught on to him. Like I said, the Orlando Salido fight, that was one of them. He did get caught with a couple punches, and a few other fights that, his chin was checked just a bit. You know what I mean? But, that only increases when he goes up in weight, right? So, can he get away with that type of style going in a bigger weight class? It seems so far, but we just gotta tell, because styles make fights. Because I remember when Arturo Gatti was at 135 to 140 when he moved up to 147, and he beat a guy, but he knew, and it was a whole different beast going from 135 to 147. You know what I'm saying? So he, in the interview when he knocked the guy out, the guy was a local Vegas guy that he fought, but you know, he stated like he didn't like the way those punches felt at 147. So then, he knew to go back down to 140 and stuff like that. So let's see if Lomachenko can take those punches. What else? Lama Chico does have a disadvantage though. His weakness, let's put it that way. His weakness is his um, desire to entertain. And what I mean that it can be a blessing and a curse. If you notice Lama Chico's fights, he's getting cocky. You know, he's reminding me of a young Roy Jones Jr. When Roy Jones was at 160 and when he was just destroying guys with his hand speed and stuff like that, you know, and he puts, because he's doing guys the same way. He's making guys quit. He's making them look foolish and look silly and look bad, you know, and he's building a name for himself. You know, he's being bold. He's calling out much bigger guys, Mikey Garcia, Linares, you know, et cetera, et cetera. You know, he's doing that. And that's how he's reminding me of Roy Jones. But we all know what happened to Roy Jones. And that's a totally different story. But Lama Chico does get cocky enough to let his hands go. And you know, and drop his guard at times, you know, just showboating. You know, and that can be dangerous from a guy like Linares. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that he would do that with Linares. Mostly he's done that after he's already pressed the matrix button a few times and confused the shit out of these guys. Then he'll start playing with you, you know, and start having fun in the ring and stuff. But at the times I've seen, one time I know for sure, I think with Jason Sosa, he was caught with a punch. You know what I mean? And or the fight before the Sosa fight, I believe. No, not the Walters fight. It was one of those fights where he actually did take a good punch from a guy because he was standing up just watching him, you know, like some Prince Ahmed or Roy Jones Jr. type antics he was doing. And he got caught. Now the question is, you know, if he, you know, just like Anderson Silva, the same thing. He got caught with Weidman like that, you know, clowning. So that can be a weakness for him if he does press that matrix button and then he fools his guys and he figures, okay, I got this guy on the verge to quit or whatever. I got him where I want him, so let me play with him. And then he gets caught with a punch. So that could happen. So all that is a possibility with this fight. But I think he will take this fight. You know, he respects each and every fighter. He does have fun in there. But Linares can win. There is opportunity for and a possibility for him to win if he increases his work rate and don't give up. Don't fall for the matrix. Don't let Lama press that matrix button. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's my take on the fight study with Linares and Lama Chico. You guys tell me what you think about it. You know, please subscribe. You guys been counterpunched. Peace.